said that I, Johnny Wanders, am morally against the one world government and all their bullshit and all these gun laws and all these mask laws. And I've realized that they're controlling us through the corporations. The corporations took control of the world. That's what happened. The governments got in bed with the devil and the corporations bent him over. So I used to think the governments were completely corrupt, which they've become that way. But through corporations, other people took control. Not just the governments. The governments have a lot of power, but who's the one mandating all these masks? Partly the government, but who implements it? Mostly the corporations. Either fucking way, I'm morally against it all, and all the collusions. It definitely seems like there's a coup, mental, physical, there's a coup, which is a takeover of the mind, of the whole human body. We are being subdued like dogs, like trainable dogs, through social norms and the news and the conditioning that constantly happens every day. Just listen to the radio, listen to the news. It just sounds, I can't even watch the news without sensing evil. Like, it's like the news people are just evil. Because what they support is pure bullshit. The same corporations bringing us the cure to all these deaths, they've scared us into being afraid to die. So now the people that brought us the opioid epidemic and the people that supported sending troops to Afghanistan and Iraq, and mainly Afghanistan to, as far as I know, in Afghanistan, we took control of the opium fields, which is how you get all the opium and the things that make heroin. So I'm sure they're doing some underground market, but they don't even need to because the pharmaceutical industry is huge. So Johnson & Johnson, Pfizer, Moderna all contributed to pain pills and all that, and they were the leading manufacturers of these pain pills. Lo and behold, Pfizer has connections all the way back to the companies that gave IG Farben or Faben, but it was the company IG Farben that was broken up in Germany that became 13 other companies. But that company, IG Farben, was the pharmaceutical company or a chemical company that gave the gas to the Jews and supplied. Like, basically, Ford also was selling engines to the Nazis too. So if you're a corporation that can profit from both sides of the war, then that should be highly illegal. And now the corporations that have profited from both sides of the war and actually killed the majority of the people with their products are giving us the vaccine and telling us to wear the mask. This is just the global elites telling the people how they have to live, while the global elites, you don't get to see how they live. They're definitely doing whatever the fuck they want. And they're making these zones where you gotta walk around like it's a dirty chicken coop. They're gonna poison our air and poison our water the more we become conditioned to not control our own air and water. Like air, they're poisoning. They haven't proven it to us that this isn't that COVID-19 isn't biowarfare. They're not even questioning it. Like, why wouldn't they be questioning biowarfare? It's because all the world governments, anyone involved in the United Nations, is in on a coup of people. Anyone that goes to Davos, which is apparently this elite, the World Economic Forum, the Great Reset, anyone that is supporting that, any corporation that supports that, go to the Davos World Economic Forum website, WE Forum website, and it'll tell you all the corporations that we need to ban. The corporate ban has to start with all those corporations. And fuck Bill Gates. He is now one of the world's largest landowners, but he owns like 50% of the farmland in America. The same guy that wants to black out the sun because of global warming. It's like the sun supplies everything with life. He is the baddest. It's just all starting to sound like some Batman shit. And we live in a day and age where the technology is getting to be like people that have a normal, decent job can afford some crazy shit. So you might start seeing some fucking superheroes. Because the one world government squeezing the world like an orange. And it's so much juice is about to squirt out. It's going to be... They can't... Life squeezes through the cracks. You can put concrete down, but life will grow through. You can try and cage in life and nature, but nature prevails, so they can't cage us forever, and that's what they keep trying to draw a line around your freedom. And pretty soon you won't be able to move because they've drawn a line right around your freedom. And yeah, you should be able to say anything you want. We, out of the courtesy of our hearts, don't say like the N-word and don't say fuck you, mom, and stuff like that. That's out of the courtesy of our hearts. But when we want to say that to express ourselves, there can be no limit on freedom of speech, because once you do, then it's all out the window. And now I'm starting to realize the corporations like Facebook and Twitter and YouTube, they're actually promoting censorship and communism in their core community guidelines. So I want to get a part of this Parler app that is supposed to be promoting freedom of speech, but you can build democracy into apps apparently, because you can build communism into apps like Facebook, because they promote censorship to an ungodly level, to where they're controlling the narrative of COVID so exactly that anything that is against it is just flagged, taken off, and called misinformation. But the biggest problem with this is they're not airing out any ideas except for the official narrative. And they're jamming the official narrative straight down your throat through the news and by censoring everything else. And the only stuff that's really making it through is extremely satirical content and some other people that have a really professional approach to this. Russell Brand is now my idol because he brings a lot of really good points, and he does it in a professional way, not so he doesn't come off as a conspiracy nut. He just brings up the actual logical, plausible questions, so it's irrefutable to think he's a conspiracy theorist, because his logic is sound. And he's such a well-spoken man, he can say it and speak the truth. So I guess I just want to start talking to the camera a little more, because I post a lot of videos about fixing stuff, and I hope to get more of my music posted soon. And that's always been my dream. And building tanks and planes and boats and trains is just a fun new passion of mine. But derby cars. But also to get off the grid, take control of your power, water, waste, and energy. Power, water, or food, water, waste, and power. Gotta have food, gotta have power, gotta have waste management, and water. So if we take control of those as a species, and anytime the human species sees the government or the corporations making basically the ability to live off the land illegal, the right to land, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Everyone in this world deserves a little square of land to stand on and exist, because we all need space to exist. And if there's not enough space for us to exist, then fuck it, we gotta kill each other off. But there's way more than enough land. So the moment, like with land tax, if you pay for your land and you gotta still produce money, that makes it impossible for indigenous people that have never even dealt with money to even live off the land once the world owns it. So, or once this one world government owns it, because the rules are you have to pay taxes when they don't even make money. So we're making laws that make it illegal to be indigenous, illegal to be a tribesman, when those are the people living at one with nature and actually know something we don't, which is nature is God. And if you live in balance with nature and the sun, you live great. There's no, yeah, we want all these fancy stuffs, but we don't have to have them. And we definitely can't make it illegal for people that just want to be happy living in the hut and evolving spiritually as opposed to materialistically. Like, we're not more sophisticated just because we have gadgets. There's a give and take. Anyways, wonders out. Yes, the irrefutable truth and proof that God exists is, what is God? God is the power that flows through everything, the life force that binds us all together. The one thing that actually does that is the power of the sun. The sun gives life to everything on this earth. So the sun is our God. The God in the Bible's most likely, theoretically, some futuristic man traveler that came upon our species in its infancy and sort of took control of the narrative of our lives because we didn't know. We just thought they were gods because they were so amazing. They could make fire and fly in clouds and have holograms. Traveled it with a pillar of smoke by day and a torch by night. What the fuck does that mean? Direct quote from the Bible. So God is the sun. It is the power that flows through every single one of us, every plant, every living creature on this earth. And presumably the surrounding galaxy is powered by the sun. So if anyone can prove me wrong that the sun is obviously not our God, that's the literal life force that flows through everything in this planet. And some people might say air, but air is made with the photosynthesis of the sun. So the sun is my God, which it makes sense. So if Bill Gates blocks out the sun, obviously he's a bad man. Anyways, I just had to add that. Proof God exists. Because all God is, I think people just don't like the name of it, but it doesn't have to be a talking dude. Within the sun is all the knowledge and all the power to obviously create a whole fucking universe, at least our whole planet and the surrounding solar system. So within that, I don't know. It's just what it is. So I think people just don't like what the term, because the term obviously got hijacked because people got confused and thought it was futuristic, thought God was some futuristic traveler that hijacked humanity's narrative and history, and then it's been fucking with us ever since, and now is in control, theoretically probably, of this one world government I've been bitching about. But as long as we know that there's a difference between the God of war, which is Yahweh, God from the Bible, Jehovah, he's a God of war. Just some futuristic dude, probably like the ultimate, like, capita communist. It's like the ultimate mixture of communism, capitalism, and all the isms, and they just took the fuck over of the universe and then landed on Earth and then implemented it here on some basic ass monkeys and shit. And we're like, let's have a little play date. I bet we're a reality television show for a galactic, TV station. Why else would there be so many satellites pointing at us? But I digress. The proof is in the pudding. You can live off the land, and all you would literally need to do is catch the water as it falls down, grow the food you need, and not be taxed out of your fucking existence. Indigenous people knew this, and were like, well, we don't like all your bullshit, we're just gonna go hang out in the woods, so fuck you. And they were happy doing what they did, making music and working like 2 months out of a year and stockpiling food and chilling and living, enjoying life the rest of the year, instead of being some sort of cog in this machine where you just exist to do what other people want you to do? That doesn't make any sense. The point of life is to do what you want to do. You are a node of a branch of a tree. Your life. You're a ray of sunshine. You're an extension of that sunshine. Came through the food, eaten by your parents, and then synthesized into a little spermie and synthesized into an egg, and you're just a gift to nature and God and all of us, the sun and below. So you need to do your best to do what you want to do. Take that day off. Quit that job. If we all quit that job, they'd need more people, and then those people would quit their jobs because everyone would be doing what they want to do. It would cycle up. The amount of bureaucratic bullshit they'd have to deal with because everyone would be doing what they want to do would ultimately drag the laws in the way that humanity wants it to go and opposed to the way the billionaires want it to go. So, your mission and mine alone is to do what you want to do. Do what you want to do. Know what you want to do. Start doing it as much as you can. And somehow try and make money from it. I love doing what I want so much. Haven't made a dime on it. So now I'm reverting back to factory jobs. Right now I'm working in a youth home. That's where I'm at right now. I love it. Just not enough hours, not enough money. If they could work me 40 hours, that'd be great. But it's not in my cards right now, so I have to go get a factory job. Which, I'm going to have to wear a mask now? That's what they want. So, it's like I want to go way overdo it and get like a super mask and never show my eyes and all sorts of weird shit. Because then you could send someone else into work for you and create this whole nother hiring system where people hire you to work for them. You make the money, and then they don't get fired, and they get to take time off because the new world order won't let them take time off or they'll get fired. And people have to have lives, but people can't with the one world order because you only get 7 points, and it's 2 points per day if you skip a whole day. So that it's like, what is that last point for? It's just like formality, like just a if you get 3.5 skips and you're fired, it's just, why not give you 8? Anyways, the fact that they're spewing out one narrative has to be the most obvious conclusion that our news is obviously bullshit. Like, the reality it gives us is fucking watered down. It's definitely not reality. From the news, all they want you to do is get vaccinated and know that there's nothing you can do and you won't be able to gather. It's like, I'm gathering right now. I'm able to gather. You'll never take my right away to gather. Vaccine free with a smile. You can fuck me and fuck off. Because there's no way that they're going to just wave their magic wand and say, people, you can't gather and you can't go to church and you can't hang out in a park under the sun with 20 people. My mission is to have the biggest gathering, vaccine free in the fucking world. They're already doing it in third world countries and they're not dying like crazy. Don't you think that's a little weird if they don't have vaccines? All the death rates are pretty much... It's like so many smart and big people have come out and told us the numbers are inflated, the numbers are fucked, where's all the flu deaths, where's all the pneumonia deaths, what the fuck's going on, why are they contributing everything to COVID death? They're going to write it as the biggest pandemic. The numbers, they're always just screaming about the numbers, and that's where the truth lies, is the numbers. Really? Because obviously you talk to your friends, talk to your friends, talk to your parents, talk to your friends, family, everyone. It's like such a... I've like still heard of no one except for an old fuck dying. And it's like... it's like, I can't even think of him. He did barely exist because he was my dad's... I don't even know. Some old lady's friend that I never knew. So yeah, you guys let me know, how many COVID deaths have you experienced? But God exists. The sun. Energy of the sun flows through us all. Prove me wrong. That would mean that other suns are out there giving all their life to all that over there. But we haven't seen those suns. Maybe? I don't know. They got the telescope. They got the, satellite that flies through space to actually see another sun. I know we can see the stars, but did we really see the suns? And I don't really care, because that's awesome. Like, it just doesn't mean there's only one God. That'd be stupid. That's another trick that has been pulled over the world. And it's bad. Monotheism's bad. Monogovernmental, one rule, one order, bad. So, that's what the Olympics is supposed to be about. Promoting diversity and promoting different cultures in their cultures, not erasing their cultures. What they're doing in America, which is stupid. It's like, you're still supposed to remember the history so you don't repeat it, instead of tearing out and destroying your history, which was part of your culture, and it's now you're a cultureless society. Oh yeah. Don't do that. Alright, I love you all. I hope you have a great day. I'm just standing in my work talking to a phone. So, but I feel like there's going to be one person on YouTube that's going to watch this and take a serious thought about that. Nature, God, in an extension, I would say sun's like the God. And then everything else is an extension of that power that flows from the sun. And that life force that flows through all of us. You can obviously see it. The dolphin evolved into what a dolphin was because it wanted to do what a dolphin does. And a bear got hairy and strong because he wanted to stay in the woods. And we got weaker and skinnier and smarter because we were theoretically manipulated by aliens, and our brain power got super badass. Yet we lost a lot of muscle mass, and we can't take on a monkey worth of shit. We'll die even with fighting like a monkey half my size, because they can apparently like rip your arms off and shit. Wanders out.